Block 1, the greatest lie about success. What if the biggest reason most people never become wealthy has nothing to do with intelligence? What if it starts in a classroom? Every year, millions of students graduate believing they're prepared for life. Yet many discover a painful reality. The skills that earn good grades aren't always the skills that build wealth. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover 5 abilities that quietly create millionaires, yet are rarely taught in school. Block 2, the missing curriculum. Think back to your education. You probably learned algebra, history, and grammar. Those subjects have value. But how much time did you spend learning negotiation, financial literacy, decision-making, communication under pressure? For most people, the answer is almost none. That gap creates consequences that can last a lifetime. And the surprising part is that the people who understand this gap early often gain a massive advantage. Block 3, the wealth gap isn't just about money. Many believe wealth begins with a large salary or a brilliant business idea. But history tells a different story. Extraordinary wealth is often built by people who develop valuable skills before they ever earn significant money. Income follows value. Value follows skill. And skill follows deliberate practice. That's why 2 people with identical degrees can end up living completely different financial lives. Block 4, why school teaches knowledge instead of wealth. Traditional education was designed to create knowledgeable citizens, not necessarily wealthy ones. Schools reward memorization, following instructions, and finding the correct answer. The real world rewards solving problems, adapting quickly, influencing people, and creating value. Neither system is completely wrong. They simply prepare people for different kinds of success. Block 5, the hidden advantage. Here's what most people overlook. $1,000,000 skills don't usually appear dramatic. They compound quietly over years. Every conversation becomes more valuable. Every opportunity becomes easier to recognize. Every decision improves just a little. Then one day, what looked like small improvements suddenly produces extraordinary results. That's the power of compounding, and it begins with the first skill. Block 6, skill number 1. Surprisingly, the first $1,000,000 skill isn't investing. It isn't coding. It isn't even entrepreneurship. It's something every successful entrepreneur, executive, investor, and leader depends on every single day. And once you understand why, you'll begin seeing every conversation differently. Block 7, skill number 1, communication changes everything. Communication is more than speaking clearly. It's the ability to make ideas understood, inspire trust, and create action. Every successful business, every investment, and every career depends on it. You can have the best idea in the room, but if you can't explain it, someone else with average ideas, but better communication, will often win the opportunity. Block 8, why communication creates wealth. Think about the highest paid professionals in almost any industry. CEOs, entrepreneurs, attorneys, consultants, and sales leaders all share one trait. They communicate effectively. They persuade investors. They motivate teams. They negotiate deals. They build relationships. Communication multiplies the value of every other skill you possess, making it one of the highest return investments you can make in yourself. Block 9, the cost of poor communication. Many talented people remain invisible simply because they struggle to express their value. They avoid difficult conversations. They hesitate to ask questions. They stay silent during important meetings. Over time, opportunities begin flowing toward people who speak with confidence and clarity, even if their technical ability isn't significantly better. Block 10, communication is built, not born. Some people seem naturally charismatic. But research in psychology consistently shows that communication improves through deliberate practice. Listening carefully. Asking thoughtful questions. Explaining complex ideas simply. Reading body language. Learning to tell stories. These are learnable abilities, and every improvement increases your influence in both business and life. Block 11, the compounding effect. Imagine improving your communication by just 1% every week. Better interviews lead to better jobs. Better conversations create stronger networks. Better presentations attract better opportunities. Over years, those small improvements compound into higher income, stronger relationships, and greater influence. That's why communication isn't just a soft skill. It's a wealth-building skill. Block 12, the next skill is even more powerful. But communication alone isn't enough. You can explain ideas brilliantly and still struggle financially. The people who consistently create extraordinary wealth master another ability that many avoid because it feels uncomfortable. Ironically, it's the very skill that turns ideas into income and opportunities into reality. For many people, the word sales brings discomfort. They picture pressure, manipulation, or convincing someone to buy something they don't need. But real sales is something entirely different. At its core, it's the ability to communicate value. Every successful entrepreneur, freelancer, executive, and investor sells every single day. Sometimes they sell a product. Sometimes they sell an idea. Sometimes they simply sell confidence in themselves. Here's the surprising part. Even if you've never worked in sales, you've been selling your entire life. Every job interview is a sales conversation. Every salary negotiation is a sales conversation. Every business proposal, networking event, or first impression depends on your ability to communicate why someone should trust you. The people who understand this stop avoiding sales. They begin mastering it. Money moves when value is exchanged. But value only creates income when people recognize it. That's why two businesses with similar products can produce completely different results. One knows how to explain the problem it solves. The other assumes customers will figure it out on their own. The same principle applies to careers. Your work matters, but your ability to communicate its value often determines your income. The best salespeople rarely talk the most. They listen. They ask questions. They understand problems before offering solutions. Psychology tells us that people are far more likely to trust someone who genuinely understands them. That's why persuasion isn't about pressure. It's about clarity, empathy, and solving real problems. When trust grows, opportunities naturally follow. Imagine improving your ability to negotiate by just a small amount. One better salary discussion. One successful business deal. One investment partnership. Those moments can change your financial future for decades. Unlike many technical skills, persuasion continues generating returns throughout your entire career because every meaningful opportunity involves people. But even communication and persuasion aren't enough without one critical ability. Every day, successful people face uncertainty. They rarely have perfect information. Yet somehow, they continue moving forward while others remain stuck. Their advantage isn't certainty. It's the way they make decisions. Every day, your life is shaped by decisions you barely notice. Some take only seconds. Others change the course of your future forever. The difference between wealthy thinkers and everyone else isn't that they always make perfect choices. It's that they understand every decision carries consequences, and small decisions repeated consistently often matter more than one dramatic moment. Behavioral psychologists have spent decades studying how humans make decisions. Again and again, they find the same pattern. People often let fear, stress, and short-term emotions overpower logic. They buy impulsively. They postpone important actions. They avoid difficult conversations. In the moment, these choices feel harmless. Over years, they quietly become expensive habits. Financial success rarely comes from one brilliant investment. More often, it's the result of thousands of intelligent choices. Choosing to save before spending. Learning instead of endlessly consuming entertainment. Investing in valuable skills instead of temporary pleasures. Individually, these decisions seem small. Together, they create a completely different financial future. Successful investors understand something most people overlook. Every decision has an opportunity cost. When you say yes to one option, you're automatically saying no to another. Spending money today may mean giving up future investment returns. Wasting hours scrolling through social media may mean missing the chance to develop a skill that increases your income for decades. One of the strongest predictors of long-term success is the ability to delay immediate rewards for greater future benefits. Wealthy individuals aren't necessarily more disciplined because they're born that way. They simply train themselves to think beyond today's comfort. They ask a simple question before making important choices: will my future self thank me for this decision? Making better decisions is powerful. But even the smartest decision maker can struggle financially without understanding one thing that affects every person on earth. It's a skill so fundamental that many assume everyone learns it in school. Surprisingly, most never do. And that's exactly why financial literacy becomes one of the greatest competitive advantages in modern life. Most people spend years learning how to earn money, but almost no time learning how money actually works. That's a costly mistake. Financial literacy isn't about memorizing complicated investment formulas. It's about understanding how money flows, grows, and disappears. Without that knowledge, even a high income can quickly become financial stress. One of the biggest myths about money is that earning more automatically makes you richer. In reality, countless high-income professionals live paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, people with more modest incomes often build significant wealth over time. The difference isn't usually income. It's how they manage, invest, and multiply what they earn. Every dollar has a job. It can be spent, saved, invested, or wasted. Wealthy thinkers understand that money is more than a reward for hard work. It's a tool. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" they often ask, "How can this money create more value in the future?" That simple shift transforms spending into strategic decision-making. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, though historians debate whether he actually said it. Regardless of the quote's origin, the principle is undeniable. Small, consistent investments made over many years can grow far beyond what most people imagine. Time becomes one of your greatest financial allies. Many people avoid investing because they fear losing money. Ironically, ignorance often creates more risk than knowledge. The more you understand budgeting, diversification, risk management, and long-term investing, the less intimidating financial decisions become. Education replaces uncertainty with confidence, allowing you to make thoughtful choices instead of emotional ones. Communication opens doors. Sales creates opportunities. Better decisions build momentum. Financial literacy teaches you how to grow wealth. But the world never stands still. Industries change. Technology evolves. Entire careers disappear. The people who continue thriving aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who adapt before everyone else realizes change has arrived. If there is one skill that separates those who survive from those who thrive, it's adaptability. The world changes faster than ever. New technologies emerge. Entire industries evolve. Jobs that once seemed secure can disappear within a few years. People who resist change often struggle. Those who embrace it discover opportunities hidden inside uncertainty. The highest earners aren't always the most experienced. Increasingly, they're the fastest learners. They don't assume they already know enough. They remain curious. They ask questions. They experiment. Every new trend becomes something to understand rather than something to fear. This mindset allows them to stay valuable, no matter how quickly the world evolves. Every major technological shift has followed the same pattern. At first, people fear it. Then a small group learns it. Finally, those who adapted early benefit the most. The internet created new industries. Smartphones transformed communication. Artificial intelligence is reshaping how we work today. Every wave of change rewards those willing to learn before everyone else. Many people believe adapting means abandoning who they are. In reality, it's the opposite. Adaptability means holding on to your values while updating your methods. Successful people don't become attached to one career, one strategy, or one way of thinking. They become attached to continuous growth. That's why they remain resilient when circumstances change. Now something important becomes clear. These 5 skills aren't independent. Communication helps you build relationships. Sales turns relationships into opportunities. Better decisions protect your progress. Financial literacy multiplies your resources. Adaptability keeps you relevant in a changing world. Together, they create a powerful foundation for lasting wealth that no single paycheck can provide. Here's what almost nobody realizes. None of these skills require extraordinary intelligence or exceptional talent. They require intention. They require consistent practice. Every conversation, every book, every difficult decision, and every challenge becomes another opportunity to improve. And that's exactly how ordinary people quietly develop extraordinary financial lives. Here's what makes these 5 skills so powerful. They don't work in isolation. Every improvement in one strengthens the others. Better communication helps you sell ideas. Better decisions improve your financial habits. Greater financial knowledge makes you more confident. Adaptability keeps every skill relevant. Over time, these abilities compound just like money invested wisely. The results become far greater than the sum of their parts. If you study successful entrepreneurs, investors, and business leaders, you'll notice a pattern. They never stop developing themselves. They understand that the greatest investment isn't always in the stock market or real estate. It's in their own ability to create value. Markets rise and fall. Economies change. But valuable skills continue producing opportunities in almost any environment. The good news is that graduation doesn't end your education. In many ways, it marks the beginning of the learning that matters most. Today, books, online courses, podcasts, mentors, and real-world experience are more accessible than ever. Every day gives you a choice. Consume entertainment that disappears tomorrow, or gain knowledge that pays dividends for decades. Before making your next important decision, ask yourself one simple question. Is this helping me build $1 million skill, or is it only keeping me busy? That single question can completely reshape how you spend your time, your money, and your attention. And because your future is built one decision at a time, the answer matters more than you might imagine. Most people wait for the perfect opportunity before changing their lives. But opportunities rarely arrive fully formed. More often, they appear disguised as books you haven't read, conversations you almost skipped, skills you keep postponing, or challenges you'd rather avoid. The people who build extraordinary wealth don't wait for certainty. They prepare themselves so thoroughly that when opportunity finally appears, they're ready to recognize it and act. The $5 million skills aren't reserved for the gifted, the lucky, or the wealthy. They're available to anyone willing to learn, practice, and improve consistently. The question isn't whether these skills can change your financial future. It's whether you'll start developing them today. If this video changed the way you think about success, subscribe to Empire of Prosperity and join us as we explore the timeless principles that help ordinary people build extraordinary wealth. Your future isn't determined by what school taught you. It's shaped by what you choose to learn next.